From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, May 6th, 2017. Silver's trading at $16.35 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,228 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $1,548. Antiwar.com reports the USS George H.W. Bush, an American aircraft carrier parked perpetually off the coast of Iran, appears to have attracted the attention of Iran, and officials say that Iran's use of surveillance drones to keep an eye on the massive U.S. warship is a nuisance. Officials also hyped the presence of small Iranian naval vessels operating off the coast of Iran, claiming them to be naked aggression for sometimes being close to the U.S. carrier, despite also appearing to have never actually left Iranian waters by all indications. U.S. officials have repeatedly made a big deal about Iran having ships off their own coast, while Iranian officials have responded by saying that they think a better question is why the U.S. warships are 7,500 miles away from their own territorial waters and constantly looming around Iranian coast. The U.S. has had warships off the Iranian coast for years, mostly to shore up their constant threats to attack Iran. Iran, by contrast, has focused on a small coastal navy whose use would be purely defensive. Given the mostly offensive nature of the U.S. presence that Iran is preparing to defend itself will always be a sore spot. Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organization to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411, because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. That's getcell411.com. UPI reports President Donald Trump may now be planning to effectively starve the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy of its operating budget. According to sources and an inter-office memorandum, Trump's budget proposal would strip the office of 95% of its federal funding, slashing the agency's operating budget from nearly $400 million this year to just $24 million in fiscal year 2018. Such a funding cut could eliminate nearly half of the so-called drug czar personnel, 33 jobs, as well as research and intelligence capabilities. A number of programs and grants, including the Model State Drug Laws, High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Areas, and Drug-Free Community Support Programs, would also be shaken by the cut. The dramatic reduction in funds was contained in what's known as a passback document from the Office of Management and Budget, which uploaded the memo to its Max Collect budget database. The Office of National Drug Control Policy, created in 1982 under President Ronald Reagan, is responsible for managing the executive branch's anti-drug efforts and coordinating with state and local authorities on those ends. The ONDCP provides funds for task forces in 49 of the 50 states. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the city of Portland, Oregon plans to subpoena Uber Technologies to force it to disclose software that helped its drivers evade local transportation regulators, according to a city official on Friday. Uber has acknowledged using the software, known as Grayball, to circumvent government officials who were trying to clamp down on Uber in areas where its service had not yet been approved, including Portland. It has since stopped the use of the software for that purpose, saying the program was created to check ride requests to prevent fraud and safeguard drivers. Reuters reported on Thursday that the U.S. Department of Justice had begun a criminal investigation into Uber's Grayball program and that a Northern California grand jury had issued a subpoena to Uber concerning how the software tool functioned and where it had been deployed. Portland began its own investigation of Grayball after the New York Times revealed its existence in March. Uber has shared some information with the city but has not turned over the Grayball software itself. The city said it found no evidence that Uber used Grayball to avoid inspectors since Uber was allowed to operate there in 2015. The Portland subpoena does not indicate what criminal laws are at issue in the probe. Likewise, Uber's grand jury subpoena does not list any federal statutes that may have been violated. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.